Hey, it's Dr. Dawn, and welcome to Mystical Monday. I am your host. I am so excited for tonight's topic. I am looking forward to all of the chit chat that we're going to be doing tonight because I know I got a lot to say. So I know y'all got a lot to say too. So look, I'm going to give you guys time to come on in this room so we can get this chat going. So let's count it down and give everybody a moment to come on in. See you in a minute. Whoops. Hey, I'm back, you guys. Welcome to Mystical Monday. If it is your first time coming here today, I want to say welcome. If you are a return person from our normal Mystical Monday crew, hey, hey, glad to see y'all back. If you are looking to get some information that is beyond the veil. That's what we do here over on Mystical Monday. So I want to, hello, I see you guys coming in the chat. I want to let you guys know tonight that I know that we got the lunar eclipse going on, right? And that's what everybody's talking about today because this is the lunar eclipse 2024. It's happening today. And so, if you know me, you know I usually don't do what the collective is doing. If everybody else is doing it, I usually don't do it because why? You can go to everybody else and hear about it. So I usually operate outside of mainstream, outside of the collective, outside of what's rhythming in the algorithm. I'm usually a little different. So tonight's topic is way off of that. We're like not even going to be into the lunar eclipse tonight. Well, we are because we're going to be exposing some stuff. And anytime we have any type of eclipses, we usually go through some exposures or some unveilings or some new awareness. So we will be doing that in the spirit of the lunar eclipse. But talking specifically about the lunar eclipse, I will not be doing tonight. So I just want to tell you guys that, give you a heads up, because if you couldn't tell from the title of tonight's topic, we are not going to do anything in that realm. We're going to be talking about soulless souls and NCPs, and we're going to get into that because a lot of people are talking about this right now, and I think it's something we need to bring up for discussion. So hello everyone. Hello. Baby, this is Aries season. Y'all know this is the beginning of the year, the beginning of the astrological year. So I love to start Aries season off with some new revelations, some new insight. Not to mention, it's my birthday season. Yes. I am an Aries. You see, I'm wearing my red, y'all, because we bring the heat, we bring the fire. We're a cardinal sign, we bring the energy. So, in the spirit of my zodiac, I am wearing red for you guys tonight. Okay. Um, I want you guys to know that tonight's topic, I've done it before, but as I tell you guys before, when we're in a new energy and a new frequency, there's new insight. So it's going to be a little different tonight because I'm adding a bit of a twist to it that I didn't do before because we weren't in that place of awareness when I did it last time. So tonight's topic, soulless souls or NCPs. Um, Let me first start by saying those are two different things. Okay, so let me first start off with soulless souls. And so for me and my awareness and understanding, I remember about 10 years ago, I came in contact with a lot of soulless souls, and I didn't know what they were. I didn't know how to categorize them. I didn't know how to label them, if you will, because it was taboo to even use the term soulless souls. You used to actually have to really say it in secrecy or say it in code, or you would feel as if the powers that be would come get you if you were talking about soulless souls. That's how it used to be a decade ago. Well, now with AI being introduced, soulless souls kind of are taking a back seat now to this whole concept of NPCs. And so I said NCPs earlier. Did I say that? I meant to put NPCs. I put it backwards on my title. Well, NCP. It will say NCP. So I wanted to go back to that now because now we got two kind of terms and beings that are being described now by the collective, okay? So let's first start off by saying that if you don't believe that we're in a simulation and that this experience is an illusion, then what I'm going to say tonight is not going to make any sense whatsoever. So you may want to just click off of this, okay? If you are in an awareness of the simulation, the matrix, the dream state, the illusion, then this will make sense. Yeah, in the chat, I just clarified that. They're asking me, is that the same or similar to NPCs? Yes, I put it backwards in my title. I put NCP. I meant to put NPC. So excuse my error. I'll have to fix that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you believe that we're in a program, then this will make sense. And so we have been in a simulation, which has consisted of various programs, which the programs have been dissected into what we consider systems here on the planet Earth. And so a lot of these programs, one of the programs that we've had going and running forever has been idol worship. You know, it's been since all the times of religious days. Everybody creates an idol for us to worship, right? And so, because there are written documents that support these different idols as it relates to religion, we have deemed these things to be true. Okay. Well, no written work is 100% truth, right? We do understand that because the written works are written by humans, right? And so whenever humans write something, they put their own little twist, spin, interpretation based on their experience. So no written work is 100% truth, okay? So there's been no documentation as it pertains to what I'm talking about, be it scientific or not, as it relates to the soulless souls. Now I'm going to clarify because you guys are probably going, well, wait a minute, NPCs are AI generated, and you know that's similar to that, and there's documentation for that. They're creating that. We're in the place of that being implemented right now. Well, no. That's why I'm saying that these two things are separate. Soulless souls and NPCs are two different things, and I don't want to confuse the two. That's why I want to talk about them separately. Okay. So when I was in my awareness of soulless souls, it was through experience. Okay. I met beings who literally I could see right through them. If I looked at them and I was talking to them, it was like I was talking through them and I could see the wall behind them. They literally had like a glazed look on their face. Their responses were very minimal. And it seems as if what I was talking about was way over their head. Now, this was like over a decade ago when I first encountered soulless souls. And so I couldn't put a finger on it or a name on it until I saw a woman on social media who was broadcasting from some remote island far away. She wasn't telling anybody where she was. And it's like she was talking in code about soulless souls. And she was saying how she could not reveal her coordinates or where she was because, in so many words, she was kind of on the run. She was hiding because she knew all of the ins and outs about these soulless souls, and she was kind of spreading this information, if you will. So when I saw what she was saying and I thought about some of the people that I had encountered, I realized that these soulless souls did exist. But then my question became, why are they existing here? Because from my experience, they literally had served no purpose. They were just bodies that were taking up space, if you will. And so as I moved into my spiritual awareness and connection, my spirit team said, well, you just defined it exactly. They are bodies that are taking space. Okay. Literally, if you think this or feel this is a simulation and it's a game sequence, you got to have all kind of players in the game, so to speak. So you have players that are here with a soul, who are learning life lessons, who are increasing their awareness, who are having an experience. And then you have beings who don't have a soul. Now, wait a minute, because you probably say, Dawn, now wait a minute, how can you exist in this human avatar without a soul? Well, we know that a soul is usually the spirit and body connection. Once the spirit and body connects, here comes the soul. This is the making and connection of the soul. But you got to understand, there are some spirits and bodies that make the connection, but the awareness that the soul exists has to be there. And so, literally, these beings have no awareness or knowledge or connection that even a soul exists or is part of the makeup of the structure. So, they literally are soulless, okay, in that respect. So, when we encounter these beings, because they're still here, but now we're looking at them in a different way. Now they've kind of amped it up, and now it's like advertised, promoted, and placed into the collective of about AI, artificial intelligence. Well, that's totally different, because these are computer generated human replicas, so to speak. So you know that they're fake because they're being created, right? They're actually being created by hand to um, do things on the planet that are similar to humans to make things easier, right? Or more simplistic or more advanced for us. That's that NPC stuff. That's that non-player character. That's something separate from what I'm talking about. These beings I'm talking about are spirit body connections, meaning humans, but without a soul. Okay. Two different things. They are literally getting pushed under the rug now because we're all into AI. So we're not focusing on the soulless souls. Okay. So let me keep going. We usually I was talking about idols initially, and I was trying to get you guys to the place where these soulless souls are following somewhat of a program, if you will. Okay. And in that program, one of the programs that we have is idol worship. That's why everybody love, or everybody used to love and admire and revere celebrities. Okay. Well, soulless souls, in addition to the physical ailments of just looking glazed and just not here and just not in an awareness of actually the human emotional characteristics that's taking place in interactions, they literally are following a script. Okay. You know, our script down here was what we eat, we work, we sleep, we repeat. Y'all know how we do it. That's what we do here on the planet. And these soulless souls literally come down here with that, with the mindset of trying to be as human as possible. So you could kind of say, not that we're their idols, but they're trying to mimic and be like us so much that their awareness and knowledge of when we do things out of character gives them away, so to speak. Okay. So if we think about the soulless souls in the big picture, that everything is an illusion. I hope y'all understand this. Everything here is an illusion, aka a dream. We say dream and illusion synonymously. And if everything is illusion, and we're projecting outwardly into our awareness, our illusion that we're creating, because you are all creating your own illusions, then these NPCs, these non-player characters, AI, as well as these soulless souls, are existing as a result of the illusions we're creating. Now, let me stop there for a second, because here's why I want to bring that up. I have very minimal connection to AI right now, and that's been by choice. I've literally steered clear of a lot of the things that they say are beneficial as a result to AI. Like, my husband was helping someone do a resume, and he went to AI, showed them how they could do it. It sounded great. It was done in like 20 minutes. You know, it was like the best thing. And he was trying to tell my nephew, if you will, about his resume and how to spoof it up. And he was asking me, have you ever used this before? Have you used this program? And I'm like, no, no. He's like, you got to come out of the dark ages and you got to get with it. You got to get in 2024. That's not part of the illusion I'm creating, because see, I'm creating my own illusion just as you guys are. So, not that it's a bad thing. Look, if you want to create and use AI in your dream sequence or your illusion, go for it. Do it. Do whatever aligns with the experience you're creating. I'm choosing not to do that. Now, y'all, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Just listen to me. This is my personal preference. I'm choosing not to, so that I can stay in alignment and in awareness with my true connection to my dream state that I'm creating and my life I'm trying to manifest based on my desires. Okay. And right now, where I am in my dream sequence and in my elusive state of being, I have no need for it, because once I started, this is how I know from my experience. Once I start it, then I'll keep using it for something else, and then something else, and something else, and something else. And then before I know it, I will be adopting, and I will be acknowledging and accepting AI in my reality, as the push is for all of us to do. That's where they're headed. We're trying to get us to do that. Nothing wrong with that. If that is in your elusive state that you are creating, nothing wrong with that. I just want you guys to be aware you have a choice, because you're creating your experience, your elusive experience. Stay in the awareness. This is not a real experience. This is a simulated experience. Now, do we have documentation of that? Do we have exact proof of that? Absolutely not. It is an inner knowing and awareness that activates and clicks in if it resonates with where you are in your experience. Okay. So you're going to start seeing in the collective, you're going to start seeing, if not, we already have a separation. We kind of do. But you're going to see another separation, to where you're going to see people operating in a mindset and an awareness of self-creative experiences. And then you're going to see other people who are operating in the mindset and awareness of artificially intelligent, replicated experiences. It's going to be very clear as we start to move forward. One is not better than the other. It is not. It's just going to be different experiences based on the dream state and the illusion that you are creating, because we're now stepping into an awareness that this is an illusion. All right. Now, when we get into soulless souls and non-player characters, I want you guys to understand, for every soulless soul, meaning a human here without a soul awareness or soul connection, and a non-player character, a character that is here that is not having an experience of a soul journey where you are learning lessons and you are living life through emotion, there are actual souls, you and I, who have souls, and actual player characters, real players. You got non-players and you got real players. I'm going back and forth, you guys, because we got two things happening now in the collective. We got the AI generated terminology, the NPCs and the non-player characters and the character players. Got that. And then we have the other terminology as it relates to souls, actual souls, and soulless souls, and individuals with souls. We got these subsets that are taking place. The thing I want you guys to realize is that souls and players, actual players, have consciousness. You got that? These non-player characters, as well as the soulless souls, consciousness is not there. It does not exist. It is a actual program that is running and guiding, that is very difficult for them to deviate from. All right. So most of you, I hope most of you, I don't know who's watching, most of you are probably actual character players with a soul. Because if you're drawn to this particular YouTube, then you're in an awareness that your soul is attached to something bigger than just existing. It's attached to you having an experience, you evolving, you moving in some kind of way, and you doing something meaningful during your time here. That's why you're here. Okay. So let me know in the chat, you guys. Let me know if I'm confusing you because I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it's clear in my head, but you guys may be getting lost a little bit. Let me stop for a second. Let's get some questions. Shauna says, this is very interesting. Okay. Kiara says, with the definition of soulless soul you provided, do you think they can become soulful? Okay. So a soulless soul, remember, what makes you a soul is the spirit body connection and your awareness of your connection to the source, aka we know the source as God or the higher being or the higher self. If you come in with no connection, no connective awareness to that, it is very difficult. I'm not going to say it's not possible because we don't know. We don't know exactness as it relates to this. It will be very difficult to become a soul character player if you have no reference to anything outside of what you're here doing. Does that make sense? If you don't know that there's a such thing as a soul or a soul connection or anything, then how can you become a true soul or become a character player? Do you see? It's almost like their cord or wire that gives you that awareness is cut. So if you have a cut wire, how can you reconnect the wire? I hope that's a good analogy to explain it. Okay. That's a good question though. I love that. Um, is that why celebrities, etc., always wear dark glasses all the time? I don't want to. Soulless souls, like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with dark glasses per se, because when I say I could see right through them, you could have glasses on or not. I still am looking through you as it relates to energy and your soul. So I can't say for certain if that's why they wear sunglasses. I don't make that relationship or analogy to that for me. Authenticity is in my alignment. AI is a no-go for me as well. Okay. Um, I got this awareness a few months ago. Good. Okay. Got it. We're tracking. Got it. Um, Therefore, it is not possible for a star seed to be a soulless. No, 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 no. Now listen to that question. I'm gonna put that back up. So he says it is not possible for a star seed to be a soulless soul. Listen to what you said. A star seed is an incarnated being that is coming here with a particular purpose of assisting the planet in its evolution. So it's almost like their soul is coming with the programmed kind of memories or understanding of why it's here. And once it's here, it will be activated into awareness because it volunteered to come here to do and perform a particular purpose related to the evolution. Just like a soulless soul came here to do a particular purpose, which is to take up space, if you will, to take up space and to be a player, just a player in the game for energetic purposes. So you can't be your if you come in here with a star, if you come in here as a star seed, you come in here already on mission. You come here already on mission and purpose, and you're gonna need a soul to do your mission and your purpose. So it's very rare, never probably can a star seed come and be soulless. Just doesn't that doesn't even go together. If that makes sense. Okay. All right. You guys keep the questions coming because, like I say, I'm going back and forth and this can get a little confusing. I was trying to see when I was putting it together, how to lay it out to where you guys aren't really confused, but I had to bring up both concepts because I didn't want you guys to get them confused. One is very different than the other. Again, I'm going to reiterate those non-player characters, aka artificially generated beings. You know that those are created literally by hand to replicate humans, almost like robots. That's not what a soulless soul is. A soulless soul is an actual human, well, not a human, but it's a being with a spirit and a spirit and a body, looking as if in human form, not a robot, not a robot, but without a soul. So it's very closely related because you guys are probably going to say, well, wait a minute. NPCs don't have a soul either. So isn't it the same thing? That's why I'm trying to clarify for you guys. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. All right. She says, can you explain the difference between conscious and aware? I'm going to say this for this discussion tonight. Consciousness, awareness is the entryway to consciousness. Let's do that. It is the foundation in which consciousness is built, because consciousness has various layers and levels. But you have to first be in an awareness that there is something bigger that is existing before you can even get to the levels of consciousness. If that explains it for you, okay? So awareness is like the foundation. Hey, I'm stepping into something big, something different, something outside of the status quo, something outside of what I've been learning and understanding and believing, something different. And then consciousness comes in and says, now let's break this down for you so you can start seeing what you're stepping into and what's different and what you've been programmed to do. Okay. All right. All right, now let's keep going. So when we talk about these non-character players, these non-player characters, see, I keep saying that backwards, y'all, because I don't even use that term. I don't even use NPC, but people use it so much now that we got to kind of talk about how you guys should be able to notice when this is happening, because it's getting to a point now where we know through social media, it's hard to recognize this on these media platforms. But what about in your physical presence? Can you recognize an NPC in your physical presence? You feel like you could, right? Because you feel like there's going to be some indication to you that they are not of human origin or they are not real. This is what you're thinking, right? Well, let's talk a little bit about how you should be able to recognize them, because you're not going to see that maybe as much right now as you would a soulless soul, because it's in development. It's being introduced to the collective. It's getting everybody like all into it and all for it, and getting everybody supportive of AI, and then it'll roll out in the years to come. Right now, you guys are just getting used to AI as it relates to applications on your computer or your social media platforms or your phones. You ain't got to the actual physical robotic type things that are going to roll out, that are going to be AI generated. They're working you guys up to that, working everybody up to being receptive to that. So I'm going to talk to you guys in the future sense a little bit. Like, let's say they're out, or they're out now, which they are, but let's just say they're out and you are going, I can't tell the difference. I don't know. Remember, NPCs have no consciousness. Understand that, okay? And no connection to a soul. Do you get that? That's big. No connection to a soul. They are operating off artificial intelligence. So it means that routine, sequence, and all of that is going to be very familiar, very comfortable, very custom for them. Okay. So if you step out of some things that are more human-like in nature, you're going to throw them off. Okay. And remember, these NPCs, they don't really have a purpose, so to speak. The purpose is for them to be like us. That's the purpose. They have no individual identity, so to speak. You guys all, as character players, real people, so to speak, you have a purpose. You are here to navigate on earth. You're here to learn life lessons. You're here to enhance your soul. You're here to have human experiences. Like, you have a purpose. Their only purpose is to be like us. Okay. So look, a lot of them, wait a minute, let me back up, because I don't want you guys to confuse repetitive behaviors with routine, because a lot of NPCs are going to be into repetitive, ritualistic type behaviors. Like they keep saying or doing the exact same thing repeatedly. So, like, you could have a conversation with them, you could be interacting with them, you could be going very in depth, and you're waiting on them to respond, comment, or to give some insight, and then they start talking about something else totally different that you weren't even talking about. And you go, what the heck just happened? And you're like, they don't have a lot of the insight for deeper knowledge. I'm saying this right now because I've encountered an NPC, and this was my experience. And so this may be tweaked as it starts to become an awareness that this is a glitch, so to speak. But right now, the deeper look, somebody just asked, do they glitch? I didn't even see that before I said this. But the deeper meaning questions are very difficult for them. See, sometimes you guys got to understand what I do for a living. I am in the public spotlight. Now, even though my platform is not big, I don't have a lot of eyes on me. I got eyes on me. Anybody who does what I do has eyes on me. And so when I get clients, okay, I'm always looking with my eye, so to speak, and I'm always listening to my guides, and I'm always feeling with my intuition. And so when I get people in my sessions that are NPCs, they stick out like a sore thumb. They stick out like a sore thumb, literally. And I know that they're plants, because see, one of the things NPCs can do is record. They can record, as we do. You guys, as character players and players with souls, you record too. Your eyes are the recorders to your soul. So that's why literally lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, your soul has an accurate account of everything you've done and experienced, because it's recording. Your soul is recording right now. It's recording this right now, recording you watching this. And so we have our recorder and they have theirs. And so sometimes they're brought into my awareness and my experience for recording, for recording. That's the only reason they could be here, because they're not here to advance their soul, to activate their awareness, to do any of that. Is simply to record me and to see what I'm doing and saying. Understand this. So, star seeds, you got to know this. You got to be in an awareness of this, because you're going to encounter some NPCs. Oh, yes, yes, indeed, you will. And you're going to encounter some soulless souls. Soulless souls are really easy to differentiate, because they're literally disconnected from the source, aka God. Okay. Sometimes they may be perceived as, if you go to religious terms, they'll be like, oh, they demonic, that's the devil, or oh my God, they have no feeling, they have no morals, or they have no um, connection. You can just tell a soulless soul, very much so. To me, they're not harmful, not harmful at all, just not connected to source, and very easily able to distinguish for me. Somebody says, um, would you tell your client they are an NPC? No, I would not, because what would be the purpose? What would be the purpose in doing that? None. So why do that? Sometimes you know when to speak and when not to speak, and that's just not something you just don't need to speak. Could we be an unwilling, soulless soul and not know it? Okay. So again, you guys are talking about your physical incarnated presence. You're not understanding you had to make an agreement before you got here. You see, I think you're thinking or connecting soulless with meaning you got here and then you became soulless. No, 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 no. When you incarnated, you came in, you incarnated in as a soulless soul per your written agreement. So you knew what you signed up for. You knew what you signed up for. So you'd be willing in that case. You can't be unwilling or you just wouldn't come. They get somebody else. See? Peter. Peter. During and after COVID, I became increasingly attuned to individuals with no empathy and those who seemed to blend into the background, almost as if part of a simulated environment. Absolutely. I'm glad that you said after COVID, because after COVID was a time where a lot of us came into a new awareness, didn't we? We came into a new awareness and we were being still so that we could be taught, shown, and recalibrated for what was getting ready to come after we got back into the swing of things. And that was one of the things that came out of it. We started to become aware of the different ways that people were being, acting, and feeling once we were around them, since we had been secluded for so long. I love it, love it, love it. Um, let's see. One that says, I've encountered them. Absolutely, absolutely. You all have. Now that I'm aware of what it is, a soulless soul, I had a teacher in elementary school that was a soulless soul. Had a teacher, you guys. Had a teacher. Now that I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, she was really here playing to the program, doing what she was supposed to do. Very like um ritualistic, if you will, in nature, like no deviating outside of it, very little compassion, emotion, like very much so a soulless soul. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so I want you guys to understand and remember that NPCs usually are mindless. They follow their programming, obviously, right? Subconscious, without questioning it or trying to change it. So, I mean, I'm not subconscious because they don't have conscious, but kind of like synonymous with your understanding of subconscious. That's kind of what they do. They mindlessly follow their programming. Player characters, ones with a soul, us, me, you, we actually react to our feelings usually, right? And we justify our actions afterwards, not the NPCs. Okay. Remember, you guys, I've always tried to explain and express to you guys what makes us unique is our emotions. Emotions, emotions, emotions. Soulless souls may give you an emotion if it is a situation that is in their programmed awareness. Okay. If it's death, it could be, oh, I just want to offer my condolences, or I'm sorry, or, like program things they could do. But some things they may not be able to interpret or decipher. For example, one of the soulless souls that I encountered, I had broken a nail, and it hurt. If you've ever had acrylic nails on, ladies, you guys know you break a nail, and if it's at the wrong part in the nail, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt really bad. And so it's hurting, but this person had no point of reference, like why it would hurt. Like, it's a broken nail, like what's the big deal? And I could look on her face that she had no awareness and no connection to that whole concept of breaking a nail. Something simple as breaking a fake nail. She had no awareness of that, because why? How would she know that? How would she feel or know what it's like to break a nail down to the root, almost, like a fake nail? She didn't know. So it's like little subtle things that you guys got to put your antennas up. Put your antennas up and go, wait a minute. You just looked at me like I was crazy. You didn't know what to say when I said that. And you got to start being in an awareness, because in this reality, in this simulation, you have those beings that are here just to add a little spice to the game. All right. Okay. Player characters. Let me look at you guys' comments. Okay, so I said that you guys we're player characters and we're aware of our feelings, but we may not respond to them automatically. We may not, depending on the circumstance, but we are capable of introspecting. We're capable of looking back on the situation and our feelings are going, oh, I shouldn't have did that. Or, oh, let me adjust that. Oh, I should go back and apologize. Oh, non-player characters and soulless souls, no, 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 they have no concept or connection to that. They have no, So look at the people y'all around. Y'all around people right now that can't do this. None whatsoever. You guys may say they're cold, they're heartless, they don't think about anybody but themselves. But I want y'all to start looking a little differently now. Start looking a little differently, because how you interpret them, you are interpreting them based on your awareness and your experience. But now that your awareness is now increasing and evolving, you're now going to be looking and asking yourself a set of questions probably before you make a determination on who and why that person is acting the way they're acting, because it's a whole lot of soulless souls here. Whole lot. Y'all got some in y'all family. You work with some. You're friends with some. Absolutely, you are. um How are NPCs created? Could they be taken over or inhabited by malevolent? Now, don't get me into the mechanics of how these things are created or put together or designed. I told y'all AI is an NPC. That's not in my program. That's not in my illusion that I'm creating. So I have not delved into that nor researched into how they are created. I only know how they perform. Okay. But your question was, can they be inhabited by malevolent entities? Remember, malevolent entities usually inhabit people with souls. Souls. If they don't have a soul, what you inhabiting? What you inhabiting? Um, could an NPC still have gifts like dream premonition, but no empathy or anything else for others? Okay, y'all. Let's go through this one more time. Y'all want to make these NPCs human because that's y'all point of reference. That's all y'all know is humans, right? Right now, we could revisit this in maybe 5 years, and you guys are gonna be thinking differently because these NPCs slash AI is gonna be all over everywhere, and then this is gonna be second nature. These questions y'all asking, but think about it. What is a dream premonition? A dream premonition is intuition, it's insight, it's psychic abilities, it is the ability to see what is coming based upon what? Your human connection to the source, to the higher self, to the higher realms, to God, to the higher dimensions. An NPC is not of human construct. So to see the future, it may be in a way where they have data. Okay, let's just say this. Let's say this. They may have data where they can assess or evaluate a situation based on the data that they have in terms of predicting outcomes and what could come. Do you see? So it may be more or less in a function like that, but not an actual like dream sequence like we're having, so to speak. Now, they could create these things, and they're going to do it while they're practicing on all of us. I'm gonna say all of y'all because I'm gonna try not to be in the practice sessions when they do it. As they roll them out and get them more acclimated and intertwining with us, maybe they will be able to do the dream sequence. Because remember, what did I tell y'all? The goal is to blend in and be like us. Be like us. So as we, or as the collective, I shouldn't say we, as the collective allows them into our experience and awareness, they're going to be gathering intel and insight on us and how to further develop these NPCs to be more like us. That's the whole point. They want them to be just like us, because why? What y'all think the end result is? No more us. You see? So, yeah. Um let me keep going. Let me keep going. Lakita says, I keep running across this video where this lady, Laura Backman, talks about there are three different types of souls, and everyone is either ARIR or ER. Do you believe that? Well, you know what? when it comes to putting souls into categories, I've never put them into categories like that per se. I always put them in categories related to my point of reference and experience, which is based upon the dimensional realm that they come from, the galactic connection that they have, and their mission and purpose here on Earth. I don't really divide them up into AR, IR, ER. That doesn't resonate with me and has no point of reference, but it may for her. That may be based on her experience and sequence that she's creating as it relates to those parameters, but not for me. So it's not about me believing it. It's just not in my experience or awareness. So remember that always too. If someone says something that it doesn't resonate right with you or sit well, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's not in the experience or sequence or illusion that you are creating. That's all it means. That's all it means. You guys got to look at your experiences here as individualized. I keep saying collective, and I should stop saying collective and saying your individual experiences, because everybody's dream state or illusion is specific to them and what they're creating. See, I'm going to say this one more time for you guys as point of reference. This is your sleep state right here. We're in the dream right now. You're in the illusion. You are actually being awake and existing in another realm. Always remember that. Picture yourself somewhere else laying down in the bed asleep. And while you're sleeping, this is what you're seeing in your sleep. This right here. This elusive state of awareness right here. Okay. So I heard somebody ask Bashar, and you guys know Bashar. He's a being who I forgot the man who is the human who channels Bashar, but he's a higher dimensional being, and he speaks from higher dimensional realms about information from the higher realms and applies it here to our human experience. And someone said, why would we choose to come here? Because she's like, I don't know why I came. I don't want to. If I had it to do over again, she goes, I wouldn't come. She goes, why do people choose to come here? And he goes, why not? I mean, because it's a dream. You wake up. When you wake up and you go about doing what you were doing, you say, hey, that was fun. I want to go back again. So you come back. And he goes, it's no reason not to come, because it is only an illusion, a dream state of being. So in this dream state of being, I'm bringing this up, you guys, because NPCs in my dream state that I'm having right now, myself, they kind of don't exist. They don't exist for me because I don't even really connect with them. But for others who connect with that, that whole awareness and experience, it's probably all that they think about, sleep about, read about, study about, because that's what they've incorporated in their dream. You guys have the opportunity to create your own reality. So that's why I always tell everybody, stop getting afraid, stop getting in fear. Like when people say, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen as it relates to the earth or this, not if it's not in your dream sequence. If it's not your dream sequence, you'll be shifted, moved, and shielded from whatever it is that is going on with everybody else, because it's not in your awareness. Y'all get that? I hate to bring up COVID, but while that was going on, it had a little bit of point of reference in my reality because those around me were being affected, meaning like having to get the jab because of their job and do all of that. So I had to hear about it. But it didn't really affect my reality because the state that I was in, which was getting onto social media, talking about spiritual concepts, evolving in my awareness and my purpose, was at the forefront of my experience. That wasn't. So fear was never really in my experience because I didn't create it in my dream. I didn't. Y'all got more power than you know. You got more power than you know. Shauna says, this conversation is making me think of the movie I, Robot that Will Smith played in. Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember, those movies are not just movies. They are giving you like little snippets. I always say little golden nuggets in the game to increase your awareness while you're playing the game and on the game board. So just remember that. Anything that comes into your awareness like that, you got to look at it and go, okay, wait a minute, what am I supposed to get out of this? Where am I at in the game? And then I can determine how this fits with where I am. Babastar says, I'm not coming back anymore. I'm good. Okay, you ain't coming back until you wake up and then you go hang out and do your little thing. You say, oh, I'm bored. I want to go back and play that game again. You'll be back. I said that too. I wasn't coming back. And my spirit guide showed me how many times I keep coming back playing this game because it's fun, you guys. It actually is fun. We make it more stressful, more serious, and more difficult than it has to be. It is actually fun to be here during this time doing what we're doing. Once you get into an awareness and a connection that you're co-creating your reality, then it gets fun. Corinne says, just like the astral realm, how you can choose where to go, what to do, etc. Absolutely. And that's the other thing. Remember, I always tell you guys, for those people who resonate with traveling and visiting the astral realm, it's because they want to include that in their dream sequence, in their experience here on Earth. So they travel the astral realm. For me, I kept thinking, well, why I want to travel the astral realm while I'm there? And then when I'm awake in my real state of being, I'm doing that anyway. So why I'm gonna come here and do it? I'm like, I'm wasting time. I gotta spend time here grounding to the earth experience because that's what I came to do in the game. So it's all about what your goals and your mission and purpose are. Um, while you're here. Bible says, I was told I was tricked into coming back this time. It makes sense. Oh my goodness, Lord. Okay, you were tricked. But just know when you wake up from your dream state over there and you start telling everybody about over here, you go right on back to sleep and go right on back and come back on over here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, Vavasar. How about that? Because guess what? You can stop the game at any time. You stop the game at any time. My spirit guides had to let me know that because when I was going through that dark night of the soul, way back when, I was like, I don't like this. I'm through. I don't want to be here. It ain't worth it. It ain't whatever, and you would think my activations would lead me to say, oh, I want to get more closer to source. No, I was ready to go. I was literally ready to go until I realized I could go. If I continuously said I didn't want to be here, I could go. So it was something in me that still wanted to play the game because I was still here and I was still trying and attempting and participating in the evolutionary process. So that let me know, girl, you ain't ready to go. You just talking. You just talking. So I realized this is part of the mission and purpose that I came here to do. Peter says, would you say 80 years here on earth is minutes in the spiritual world? Oh, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Remember, time doesn't exist beyond this what is time? Time is a human concept that we have here. So the fact that I said you're somewhere else right now in your sleep state, you go back over there, like you may have been here 100 years, but you wake up over there and it's been 10 minutes. So absolutely, I would say that. Yeah, Daryl Anchor, thank you on this. That's Bashar. Love that, love that, love that. Okay. You guys are coming on with some good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Now, there's a debate. I heard about a debate. I think it was a couple of months ago. And I think this may piggyback on what somebody else said about the celebrities. There's a debate that real player characters are the rich and the famous and powerful. Because they say if you're going to play the game, then you would play the game to be rich, famous, and powerful. Now, let's look at our makeup now in our system or our makeup of our grid right now as it relates to the rich, the famous, and the powerful. Do y'all think they're real character players or NPCs? Which one do y'all think? I'm just curious. Do you think the rich, the famous, and the celebrities, so to speak, do you think they're real character players or do you think they're non-player characters? Who wants to take a stab at that? Or do you think they're, let me go back. Let's say, do you think they're non-character players and soulless souls, or do you think they're, so okay. Cindy says NPC. Peter says the majority are NPCs. Corinne says they have clones for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So the fact that originally people said, oh, those must be the real players. Because if you're a real player, you would play the game to be rich and famous. So they got to be real. That was our mindset before, right? Because that was our conditioned belief, our system of idolatry. That's how we looked at it. Like they got to be lucky because they're famous and they're rich. And we must not be lucky. And we must not be, of that because we're not. Y'all, we changing it now. We changing it now. Look, I love that. People saying both, mixed. Um, One that says you are pure, immortal, creator consciousness. Yeah, you are for the ones with the souls. Absolutely. Absolutely. But look at how our logic is changing. Look at how our logic is changing. We're now realizing what they say. Now, this is one thing I will give Christianity. Christianity has bits and pieces that's it's somewhat correct, but the interpretation may be much to be desired depending on who's interpreting and where you are in your awareness. But y'all know that one phrase where it says, what? The last will be first and the first will be last, right? And so now look at how we're shifting in our awareness, where we thought that to be rich, famous, celebrity, that was it. They're special. They are the ones. They are, connected. They're this. Wait, that ain't what we saying now. No, 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 no. We are now realizing, hey, wait a minute. Looks like we the ones with the power, the ones who are not famous, the ones who are not in the spotlight, the ones who are not, having all the people falling down, and we just the little old regular people. We are the ones. We are the actual connected ones. How about that? See how this flips? See how this flips? Absolutely. So you can see how as we evolve, things that are considered maybe far out or with not within our reach, y'all gonna start looking at it real different. Real different. Kiara says the chosen ones. Absolutely. The chosen ones. We're realizing now what a chosen one looks like, what that inner awareness and activation looks like, and how that is the true power. It ain't got nothing to do with the money. Money is secondary to the awareness, because once you get the awareness, you got abundance, and that abundance includes, wealth of all kinds and measures. But we had to get to this stage in the evolutionary process to realize that. Star seeds, give yourselves a hand because you are out here doing the work. You are doing the work. You are doing what you came to do. You are assisting in the evolution of the planet. Come on, light workers, give yourself a hand. Everybody clap. Give yourselves a hand for shining the light, moving the energy on the grid to keep everyone in an awareness of what is happening so that we can continue to move. We got grid workers. Come on, grid workers, give yourselves a hand. You are keeping this energetic field, collectively in balance so we can get through and we can have these moments that we're having now of awareness and these frequency shifts. And we could do, y'all, come on, that we are at a point now where if you don't know what you're here to do, you're here to do something, and you are working towards understanding and getting an awareness and moving in the direction that you need to do this. Now, I got to tell y'all this. It's going to come a time where we're going to say, that's it. We've done all we can do. If you're not in an awareness, you got to just get it on your own. And all of these beings that I just named who are here to help shift the planet, the focus is going to change, and it's going to be on your own experience and evolution. And you're going to be into yourself at that point. And literally, I don't want to say you're going to leave the others behind, but you're going to allow them the opportunity to tap into the awareness on their own, because you have laid the foundation and the groundwork for them to do so. And it's just on them now to move into it. And you're going to move out of it. So that's going to be happening very soon, because I can see collectively as I look over the social media platforms at beings who are here from other realms and planets who are assisting, but everybody's kind of doing not the same thing, but it seems like we're all in the same flow. And everyone is going to be moving in that same flow towards starting to be more sufficient in your energy and more self aware to be in your experience. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Um, Questions or comments from you guys? Questions, questions, questions. You guys always remember, when I explain about everything is an illusion, because it is projected and existing outside of us. Remember the systems set up in the game for you to follow the program are, remember, they're under education, education, political, financial, like the spiritual, religious. These are all systems in the game and in the program. And if you're not in an awareness and you stay in them, you will continue to follow them. Like I'm telling you guys, I literally had such an in-depth conversation with a nurse practitioner last week, and she wasn't my nurse practitioner, just a nurse practitioner in general. And I basically told her, I said, I have nothing against you guys or doctors, because you guys are only working within the confines of the system. They're not equipped for these bodies as we evolve. They're not equipped to think outside of a lot of the traditional ways to treat this body. They're merely following the program that is in place. And so it's sticking out so much more to us now that you can see on TikTok. It's flooded with natural remedies to like cure cancer, to help you through different ailments, to do, because we're learning that the medication and the traditional treatment measures just aren't it anymore. They don't actually solve the problem. We do a lot of suppression, but not a lot of healing and removal. And so that's a system that's going to crumble. We know that the healthcare system is going to crumble. It's doing it now as we get more aware and enlightened of what to put in these bodies and how to maintain them. And I told education will be going, the political sector will be falling, like all of these systems, these are in the game. If you wanted to come to Earth and play the Earth game, they had to plug in the programs for you to have in your sequence, your dream sequence, so you can see what it feels like to be on Earth. I can't think of that. Y'all, what's that game that used to exist where you used to build the cities? Oh my gosh, my sister, Sims, where you would build a city and then you would function in the reality of that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing here. It's just that you're doing it within the program that is assigned to your experience that you're choosing. Haha. All right. You guys, you have been so good. Angelica says, I agree. It's so important to listen to internal dialogue. You have to, because everything you need is within. Every single thing you need is within. That is why all of the beings, including myself, who are here and we feel like we're here on assignment, we're going to be stepping away because it's everything you need has always been within you. You actually don't need star seeds and star beings to come help you. All you need is but to listen and to activate. And that's going to be what's going to be happening really soon. Let's see. Who can say what's right? I love your screen name. Not a question, but a comment. I love how much I learned from each of these Mystical Mondays. I live for these. I'm grateful for your insights, Dr. Dawn. Oh, thank you so much. I am so grateful you included me in your dream sequence, in your illusion. I think I'm a program over there in the higher realms. I think you plug me in, or you must pick my program when your soul decides to come here. And then you get me, huh? You get my avatar. Y'all got to start looking at this thing like that. Start looking at it in that way, because I'm telling you, when you look at it in that way, it's going to desensitize you to a lot of the earthly things that are going on, and you can navigate easier. A lot of us are waking up to learning to take care of ourselves with food. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Absolutely. Much love and gratitude. Thank you. Yep. I love that. Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you for sharing. You guys are so welcome. And again, you guys, I'm not downplaying the lunar eclipse. We know that that's here. We love it. It's going to be happening today on. So get into the energy that you're going to start feeling and experiencing as a result of it. This is the beginning. Remember, Aries is the ushering in the beginning of this new astrological year, and new means new. So get ready to close out the old. Peter says, oh, you guys got a lot of comments. The NPCs with the rich and famous serve as a distraction from our capacity to self-love and love for others, leading us to falsely believe that wealth and fame define life's values. Oh, I love that. Come on, Peter, with it tonight, with your insight. Come on, I love it. Absolutely. Now, look, wait a minute, y'all. Now, some of us are going to be, now remember, I said the last going to be first, first going to be last. So now, guess what? The tide is going to change. So look, the last going to be first, though. So now, y'all get ready. Y'all get ready to come into y'all wealth. What you going to do with it? You going to do like the others before? Or you going to be an awakened soul? You're going to be an awakened millionaire. Is that what you're going to be? It's a book called that, y'all, An Awakened Millionaire. I read that last year. Which one y'all going to be? Because look, the tide is going to change. And it's going to be like, okay, you up. Your turn. Let's see how you play the game. Y'all didn't realize that, right? Come on, y'all, get ready. You stepping into it. Vavastar says, do you believe in plant medicine in regards to getting answers or helping with pressing issues? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. If that works for you, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Absolutely. Remember, Vavasar, it's your dream sequence, your illusion. Don't you worry about what I believe in. Do you believe in it? That's what counts. Awaken Millionaire. Yeah, yeah. It's a book called Awaken Millionaire, baby. I read it cover to cover, cover to cover. Because guess what? Y'all gotta understand the tide is changing. And if y'all gonna be millionaires, you gotta do it different. You gotta do it differently to change the scope. Now, we're gonna move away from money at some point. Money is not gonna even be on this planet no more. We're gonna move away from currency. But look, before we do that, before we get there, some of y'all gonna get to experience it. Because look, it's part of the karmic cycle. The last got to go first. You got to see what it's like. You got to feel that energy. You got to put something out there into the game. I'm going to sit back and watch. I'm going to sit back and watch to see how it goes the next go round. Because the ultimate, well, let me shut up. I don't want to give no spoiler alert to the game. I'm going to be quiet because I done said enough. I done said enough tonight. You guys have been great. You have been wonderful. As always, it's been a wonderful Mystical Monday. I love, love, love chit-chatting with you all. If you want to connect with me on a one-on-one for a one-on-one session, please go to my website, www.discoveringyourinnerlight.com. And we can get you together for a one-on-one session for spiritual coaching. We got detachment and release sessions that are now offered. If you got those energetic blockages and you're feeling stagnant and you don't know why, we got that going on with a special promo code, Aries Energy, all caps. I'll put it in the comments below. Please, you guys, like this video. Like this video. And if you're watching the replay, comment. Give me some questions. Y'all do what you do. Thank you guys again for getting me to the point where I have enough subscribers to monetize. Baby, YouTube flagged me last week already and said I couldn't use that video to monetize. I said, oh my God. So I gotta really be careful what I'm talking about and what I'm doing over here now, because now they trying to regulate me. So that's a whole nother thing. I may just even move away from that whole thing, because see, I don't like getting in these systems. These systems, I don't do well with them. So thank you guys for reminding the people in the chat to like, share, and follow. I love it. Okay. All righty. You guys, I will see you next Monday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All right. Until next time. Good night.